All right, Stan, we've got your carburetors off your car, and I'm going to describe to you and Steve at the same time what the history.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. It's Cecil B. DeMille will not hurt it. Don't care. You had reported you've been keeping fresh fuel in there in the tank, and as you know, when we were working on your car, the fuel that came out was pretty nasty looking. This is what came out. And you can see the particulate matter in there, and you can see that we got water in there as well. So you got solid material, sour gas, or at least what looks like different colored gas, and then we got particulate matter in there. Now then, this is gas that I use here in the shop and just put in the mower in my motorcycles, and that's just regular gas from 7-Eleven or something. That's what it should look like. So you can see there's a huge difference between what came out and what should be in there. So that's what we're dealing with for starters. We pulled the float bowl covers off, as you know, when you're here, and you can see the accumulation of well, I don't know what you call it. There's like, it was slime when it was wet, now it's dried out, but there's an accretion in there. You can.
This one's still dampish, still more gooey looking.
Yeah, and you can see it's, I don't know what, well, it's different color, that's for sure. You can see, I don't even know what that is. It's, so that's particulate matter that just, you can see how it rubbed off. So we got solid stuff in there. And another, of course, the problem that you had in the first place was you couldn't start the car. And what we come to find out is we don't, the accelerator pump check valve, or well, let's put it this way, there was no fuel going through the accelerator pump circuit whatsoever. Nothing was.
This little nub right here, you can barely see. This little nub right here that you can barely see is where the accelerator pump check valve is, and it's completely covered in goo.
Yeah.
Let's see if maybe we can.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Just as a for like maybe as a reveal, is it see in there? Let's give it some B12, and then you can actually start seeing some of the brass that is the check valve in there.
So what's supposed to happen is when you operate the accelerator pump, the fuel that's in here is supposed to go out through that check valve in there, and through the accelerator pump, and through this circuit here, and then come squirting out here. And as you know, you had taken the accelerator pump discharge nozzles off, and you could, and as I'd mentioned to you to do, and there's no fuel coming out. So we had no fuel coming out of the accelerator pump circuit. So what we're going to do here is
do a little bit of
some diagnosticing. We're going to take the accelerator pump bodies off, and also pull the main jets out. Oh, also
we'll take the accelerator, the other pump valve out, so we can see what's inside of this. That's the feed. This fitting has a check valve in it, and it goes through this part of the body, and it actually is the part that goes up to here to the nozzle that sprays in the carburetor. So we'll pull this out and see if there's any sediment or any goo in this passage here where it's trying to pump out up into the top.
Now even before then, something that Steve pointed out was the corrosion, or whatever you want to call this. The discoloration appears to be excessive compared to what we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
I'm going to get another carburetor as an example. Going to start out looking like this, and you can see we got a lot of, I keep moving the camera too, spotting here, and too much corrosion. It's to me it's a high, what you mentioned, high.
Yeah, it seems like it's just in a very high moisture
high
area.
Humidity. Yeah. So now we're going to take stuff apart and see what we got. I'm going to check the
jets. Yeah.
The idle jets are fine in that regard. Mine was not clogged.
Yeah, this was open.
Open.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Oh, this one's already out.
I'd removed one just to check.
Okay.
It's here someplace.
Well, that's fine. I just don't need to uninstall it if it's already out.
That's right. Deinstallation.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to start putting those in the basket because those are going in the dunk tank. For an actual fact. We will not be putting them back on dirty, will we?
No. Stuck.
That is a little more stuck than I would think. How about a rubber hammer mallet?
And
We don't have that much time on these things,
no,
right? What, year?
I don't recall when we actually. Let's see. I just pulled this main jet out.
Damn, bro.
Pull the main jet out of that, and you can see how dark and black and
that qualifies as manky, right?
it's all
Manky.
that should be clean brass. And it's got a bunch of corrosion and goo on it.
All right, that was clean when it went in, and it was like brand new brass. So what would discolor brass that quickly?
Usually when brass gets like that, it's moisture. And
Yeah.
Look also
Well,
there's
that'd be the water in the tank.
yeah,
Bring
and all
it
the
in the camera closer here.
you can see the
There and see,
you can see the actual corrosion build up and sediment on the jet. Man, this one's the same. Look at the.
Ooh, look yeah, okay. So we got an awful lot of accretion and whatever you want to call it. That stuff is
Well, that
something.
flaky nastiness. That's.
But where is it coming from? We looked in the fuel filler, in the fuel sending unit in the gas tank, and it didn't look like it had that much of an issue. But I think we're gonna go back to the gas tank and drain it, as you had mentioned or suggested, Stan, and we're gonna see what we got. Cause it ain't right.
We got. Wow! Look at that's full of. Like you can see the stuff in the fuel in there.
All right, now look at the difference in these. Look at that difference there. Let me get in here and I'm going to zoom in. Okay, you can. Okay, now this one doesn't look half bad. Bring that one over here.
I'm trying not to spill the
Right,
fuel in
the
it.
juice. And look at the
You
goobers
can
in
actually see the stuff actually floating in it.
there. Right. Okay. So, but why was there no accelerator pump action?
Well, because these are plugged. This one was bone dry because this is plugged.
Right. Right.
So there's no fuel getting into it, and this one probably was functioning slightly.
Look at the crunchiness
Look at
that came out of here. Yeah.
Look on that gasket right there. Look at the sediment on this gasket.
That's pretty unusual because that's supposed to be all red. See, it's red.
And that was on the fuel side, and you can see the
You got some.
sediment on the pump diaphragm.
I wonder if we got some bogus fuel because that's pretty strange looking stuff. There we go. Put mine. Okay, see what we got in here. Interesting how one of them.
That one's cleaner.
Yeah.
Than
All right, so this is the number 2 carburetor. So what is the grungy stuff gotten in the first one because that's the first carburetor to get fuel? Is that?
yeah, that could possibly the water and all the slime is going to be heavier than the fuel.
Yeah.
And the first carburetor gets fed first, so if it's resting on the bottom of the line, it's going to feed into the front carburetor before it feeds into the rear carburetor.
Thank you. I'm going to get a punch. We're going to drive these out, the check valves, and actually blow on them, see what we got. They are not going to be reviewed.
And I bet these idle circuits are totally plugged up too inside the carburetor. Yeah, the main jet wells have got schmutz in them.
Variety of punches to use. Okay, just make sure people understand these drive in from this side, but they drive out from this side. So check valve out. While it's not plugged, it is not free either.
This one was plugged solid.
Okay, so, and that was the one that had the most boogers in it.
Yep.
All right. Well, at least we figured out why you weren't going to be able to start your car, but now we got to figure out, now we got to get this stuff cleaned off of here somehow. That's almost like a complete dismantle.
Yeah, we pretty much...
Because we don't know what we got in the way of the passageways.
We got to dunk tank it, so yeah, we gotta take them apart so that we don't damage the secondaries and the shaft seals and all that kind of stuff. So
everything can come off. We probably can keep the... I wonder if we have to pull the butterflies too.
Leave the choke on, because the choke doesn't have any seals or anything, but we're going to have to pull these out, at least the primary, because the primary has the shaft seals in it. We don't want them to swell up and stick and get gooey with the...
Boogerty, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, obviously, we got to pull the...
vacuum secondary off.
Right.
And, yeah, because these are...
Right.
There's way too much discoloration in there.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna drain the tank.
This is another thing too. I mean, I'm looking at this. Look at look at the condition on this plating here.
Yeah, and I'll get one out there what it started look like.
And that just looks like lots of moisture, the effect of being in a really wet environment.
No, that's the difference. That's what it started out looking like. Well, all right. What else can we tell them before we?
That's
along.
about it. We just we got a bunch of goo, bunch of dead gas.
Yeah, and we're going to see what's in the tank just in case. Drain it and look at the gas.
Right. And that's all we can do. Flush out the lines and flush out the petcock and.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's it until we do something else, I guess, right? Anything else we can add?
No.
Okay.